So good morning students. I welcome you all again in this new video. So students, in this video we are going to discuss the topic that is magnetic force on a current carrying conductor. So let's start the topic. So consider a conductor, that is, let us consider a rod, conducting rod in which a current I is flowing. Its uniform cross-sectional area is represented by A. A represents its uniform cross-sectional area. Let us suppose its length is L. Now, let the number density of free electrons in the rod is N. Since we know that in every conducting material, there are mobile charges which move throughout the surface of the conductor. And here, the mobile charges are electrons because the protons are the fixed nuclei of the atoms that will not move. But here the mobile charges are electrons. So let the number density of free electrons. I am talking about free electrons, that is very important. I am not talking about bound electrons. There are also some bound electrons inside the conductor. But I am talking about free electrons. So let the number density of free electrons in the rod is N. Okay. What N is representing here? N is the number density of free electrons. And how can we define this number density? So since we know that density is nothing but the mass per unit volume. So here number density will be number of free electrons per unit volume. Means how many free electrons are there in unit volume. That will be my number density. So the formula will be like this: number density N is equal to number of free electrons divided by volume. Now here I have made a diagram in which I have represented my magnetic field with crosses. Here I have represented my magnetic field with these crosses, means the direction of this magnetic field is into this page, like this. If the tip of this pen is showing the direction of the magnetic field, then this tip is going into this page, so the direction of the magnetic field is like this. Okay, and there is a rod of length L whose cross-sectional area is A. And in this rod there is a current I which is flowing. Now, from this formula we can calculate the number of free electrons inside this rod. The total number of free electrons. What will be the total number of free electrons inside this rod? That will be just nothing but the N times volume. If I multiply this N, that is number density, with the volume of this conductor, then I will get the number of free electrons in this rod. So this will come out to be N, number of electrons will be equal to N multiplied by volume of the rod, or that is N is as it is. And here volume, what is the volume of this rod? That is nothing but the length multiplied by area of cross section. And I have put it here. Let us name this equation first. Now since the rod is current carrying rod, means there is a current which is flowing in this rod. So since if current is flowing, that means the electrons are also flowing opposite to the direction of the current. And since in our previous chapter, that is current electricity, we have defined a term that is drift velocity. So what is the drift velocity? Drift velocity is the average velocity of the electrons with which they move inside the conductor so that they can produce a steady current inside the conductor. So electrons are moving with a drift velocity Vd vector. Now then the force on each electron will be. Now if I ask you a question that what will be the force on each electron, means how much force will be exerted by this magnetic field on a single electron. So in our first video, I have introduced an expression that is the expression of magnetic force, and this is like this. We know that magnetic force is Fb vector is equal to Q V vector cross B vector. Here Q is the charge on the particle, here V is the velocity of the particle, and here B is the magnetic field in which the particle is moving. Now here the charge will be nothing but the charge on an electron. In case of the electron which is moving inside this conductor, keep this point into mind that I am calculating this force for a single electron at this time. Okay, so the force by the magnetic field on a single electron will be given by this expression. Here Q is the charge of the electron and V is the velocity of the electron, and here what velocity? The velocity will be drift velocity. I am talking about drift velocity because electrons are moving with a drift velocity, and here B is nothing but the magnetic field. So now a single electron has this much amount of force exerted by this uniform magnetic field. Now if I talk about that, let us calculate the net force which is exerted by the magnetic field on all the electrons, means total net force. What will be my net force? So since there are this much amount of free electrons inside this rod and one electron is influenced by this much amount of force. So if I want to calculate the total net force on all the electrons, then it will be nothing but the product of this with this force. So in the next line I have written it here, that is FB is equal to NAL, that is this, because there are this much amount of electrons inside this rod and this much amount of force is exerted on a single electron. So net force will be like this: the number of electrons multiplied by the force on a single electron. Now let us open this cross product here. So this will come out to be Vd, that is velocity is magnitude and magnitude of the magnetic field, and sine theta, and then n cap. N cap is showing the direction of this magnetic force. Now here theta is the angle between Vd, that is drift velocity, and magnetic field. Now since from our previous knowledge we know that the relation between current and drift velocity is this, that is I is equal to NEA Vd. So if I rearrange this expression, then it will be come out to be FB vector is equal to NQAVD. I have put these four terms with each other, and then we have LB sin theta n cap. There is nothing, but I have rearranged these terms. Okay, and since this is nothing but the current from this definition, this is nothing but the current. Here the difference is in Q. Here Q is nothing but the charge on a single electron, or that is E. So I can replace this term with I because this is nothing but the current and other quantities are same. Then the expression of my force is nothing is coming out to be FB vector is equal to I LB sin theta n cap. Now since we know that I is the current and current is a scalar quantity, so I will put it outside, and I have written this expression in vector notation, that is L vector cross B vector. This is nothing but the cross product of L vector and B vector. Now here this term is very important. Here L vector is very important. What is this L vector? L vector is named as length vector. And what is the direction of this this length vector? That is direction towards the current. Means in which direction the current is flowing, the length vector is also in that direction. The direction of length vector and the current will be same. So the direction of your current flowing in the rod will decide the direction of the length vector. Okay, so this much amount of force is experienced by this current carrying rod when it is placed in a uniform magnetic field. And who applies this much amount of force? This magnetic field. This magnetic field exerts this much amount of force on a current carrying rod. So this is a very important expression, that is FB vector is equal to I L vector cross B vector. I can also calculate the direction of this force, and how? Here I will use the rule of my vector cross product for calculating the direction of this force. And what is that rule? That rule is right hand rule. And what that rule says, I have already discussed in my previous video about the right hand rule in detail. That rule says that put your fingers in the length vector towards the length vector and curl your fingers towards the magnetic field. So your thumb will represent the direction of the force. Let me show it here. So if I take this diagram, so here the current is flowing in this direction. So this is the direction of my length vector. Okay. And the direction of magnetic field is into the page. Means this is my magnetic field into the page and the length vector is in this direction. So I will put my fingers of right hand in the direction of length vector like this and curl it towards the magnetic field, and magnetic field is in downward direction. So I will curl my fingers in downward direction like this. So my thumb is representing here in this direction. So this will be the direction of my magnetic force. So in this rod, the magnetic force will work like this, FB vector. This is how we can calculate the direction of the magnetic force. So this is all about for today. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.